So what's up guys, a drop set approach towards one arm pull-up training. Does it work? Is this something to pursue? Is this something to test out? Don't worry, I've experimented with it, so let's dive right in. Now, the nice things about being able to do a drop set is that your training is quite concise. Rather than having to do a ton of different exercises and spread it out over the course of several minutes or hours in the gym, you can do a few drop sets or even just a single drop set and get quite good benefits. Well, if you start off with the pros of doing a drop set approach, it's actually quite nice in terms of all the timing, as I said. You don't have to waste a ton of time in between exercises, and if you don't have a pull-up bar or similar equipment at home, you don't have to spend a lot of time at the gym, which is also, a good benefit. A lot of us don't have a ton of time during the day or week to train. There is some, but, not endless amounts of time. And the one-arm pull-up, or often a lot of the exercises that you would see recommended to you, take a lot of time to complete due to rest times, right? They require quite a bit of rest in between. So this is something that the drop set would solve quite easily. However, it's got some cons to it that aren't the most ideal. A big problem with doing drop sets is that if you specifically are going for the one arm pull-up, it isn't as one arm pull-up specific as you might want it to be. A general drop set might be that you start off doing assisted one arm pull-ups, moving further and further up the sling or band until basically doing a regular pull-up. Let's say you have then a few fingers on the bar, so you do like finger assisted, and you still try to keep as much tension in the arm you're loading, the main loading arm, as possible. Then after that you might move to hammer curls and drop down in weight until you're completely finished off. There are a few downfalls of doing this. One is that you're not really building strength as much as you'd want to. At the end of one of these drop sets, you are pretty darn pumped. And it might be really good for building endurance, might be good for building mass as well, might be good for a lot of these types of things, but for purely unilateral strength, specific for the one arm pull up, one arm chin up, I wouldn't say it's optimal. Not only do these sets drag on for a long period of time, so you end up, what I found out is that you end up being in these sets for so long that at the end it would have just been more lucrative to spend your time doing specific one-arm pull-up exercises. But not only that, you need a lot of rest after one of these as well. So if you plan on only doing one and you've just got a few minutes to just bang out some reps, this might be a decent approach. It's better than nothing, obviously, but because of the fact that you get really pumped and that it takes so much time and rather focuses on, the endurance aspect, building muscle, it wouldn't be the best for one-arm pull-up strength. Because not only do you happen to have this last for a long period of time, but you also move quite quickly away from things that would be one-arm pull-up specific. Right, doing assisted one-arm pull-ups with a band or sling, it's a great exercise, but pretty darn quickly you move away from that and you go further and further up the band until you're basically doing regular pull-ups and less effective assisted pull-ups until you get to that point. But then you're doing hammer curls, which, although you can do them unilaterally and although they sort of follow a similar movement, they're obviously not very one-arm pull-up specific in that you're not hanging from a bar and doing a sort of pull-up, right? So yeah, unfortunately, in my experience with this, doing drop sets for one-arm pull-up specific strength is not the best approach to this. If you have little time at the end of a workout and you just want to get a short drop set in, sure, as I said, it's better than nothing. But if you really go out, really burn yourself out on these, it ends up taking a lot of time and you have to rest a lot in between these if you're planning to do several of them, and that time is better spent in other ways. As I said, good for getting that pump, good for getting that, building mass and building endurance, which might be good for other aspects, but in terms of gaining one-arm pull-up strength, especially if you haven't gotten your first one-arm pull-up yet, I would definitely recommend just staying away from this for now, rather focusing on other exercises, and the name of the game then is just short periods of high intensity exercises and just long rest durations in between in order to, recuperate and be able to exert yourself with max effort and build that unilateral strength, that god tier unilateral strength you need for an exercise such as the one-arm pull-up. Let me know if you guys have tried a similar drop set approach, if you guys have some experience with it. Let me know if you try it down below, but as I said, I would spend my time in other areas. But without further ado, thanks for watching the video, and as always, remember to keep on training, train what you love, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.